This video is going to show you how to complete page 159 out of your math book. The first problem says, show that the following figures have equal volumes. So we've got a figure right here, and we've got a figure right here. And it looks like what they did was they originally had this triangular prism, and it looks like they cut this triangle part of it out and split it in two. So they put the piece right here and a piece right here, okay? And we need to find the volumes of each one of them. And just a reminder, volume tells you how many cubes that are 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter in size that will fit inside the 3D figure, okay? So since we do have to find the volumes of each, I'm going to show you how to find the volume of this triangular prism. So I'll write all the stuff that corresponds with that triangular prism in blue. And to find the volume of a triangular prism, instead of just memorizing some sort of formula, you need to recall that you just need to find the area of this face right here, which is a triangle, and then multiply it by h. And this right here represents h. It's either how tall it is or how thick it is, okay? So to find that volume, you need to take the area of that face, and it would be 1/2 base times height because it's a triangle. Okay, and when we substitute the values in, let's see, the base is 8 centimeters, and the height of that triangle is 9 centimeters. Okay, so we have 1/2 of 8 is 4, and 4 times 9 is equal to 36. Okay, that's just the area of the face. Now we have to multiply that by h to get the volume. And we would get that the volume is equal to 288 centimeters cubed, okay? All right. For the next figure, this rectangular prism, we gotta do the exact same thing basically to find the volume of it. Find the area of this face right here, that rectangle, and multiply it by h, okay? So I'm going to write everything that corresponds to this figure in this green color. And it's a rectangle. And just for the area of that face, it's just length times width. Okay, so the length times the width. So it's 8 by, how much is that? That's 4.5. Okay, and we end up with 36. And don't forget to find the volume of it. Once we've taken the area of that face, we have to multiply it by h. And that would be times 8. That right there is h. So the volume of this rectangular prism is equal to 36 times 8, which is 288. It's in centimeters cubed, okay? So we just proved that the volumes of each of these figures are equal to each other, because all that we did was we just rearranged this piece and put it right there, and then took that other piece, put it right there. We cut them in half and did that, and therefore they have the exact same volume. The next part of the question asks, how can it be shown that the prisms will have equal volumes without completing the entire calculation? So something that I want to point out in this previous example up here is when we found the area of the face for this figure, we got 36 centimeters squared. And then we found the area of this face right here, we also got 36 centimeters squared. So since we have the exact same areas of those faces, then we know that those areas will be equal to each other. And if the height of the figures is the same, which it was, then they're going to have equivalent volumes. So to put that in more fancy language, I explained it right here. If the base of the figure can be cut up and rearranged to form the base of the other prism, so here we cut it up and then we rearranged it to form the base of this other prism, or the face, the base is on the bottom, then the bases will have the same area, and as you see, they did. If the bases have the same area and the figures have the same height, which they did, then their volumes are going to be equal, okay? Okay, the next example wants us to calculate the volume of the following prism. And remember, volume tells you how many 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cubes will fit inside of the prism, okay? So just like always when you have prisms, you got to find the area of this face right here. And you'll see it's a compound shape. It's composed of, you know, 2 triangles right there. So we're going to find the area of this face, and it's going to be a little bit more tricky simply because it's a compound shape. So let's find the area of this face. And I have it color coded right here, so I divided up into this triangle up there, and I'll just have that colored kind of purple, like that. And then the next part of it, I'm going to go ahead and make it just red. Okay. Alright, so we'll start there before we find the volume, okay? So to find the area of this triangle that composes that partially composes this face, we have to go 1/2 base times height. Okay, so it's 1/2, and then the base of it is 18, and then the height of that triangle is 4 inches in length. And when we calculate that all out, we would get 36 inches squared, because it's area. Now let's go ahead and find the area of this triangle right here that composes the other half of this figure. And again, it's 1/2 base times height. So we have 1/2, the base is 18 inches, and the height of this triangle is 20 inches. Okay, and when we go 1/2 of 18 is 9, 9 times 20 is 180 inches squared. So the area of this face, when I add them together, is equal to 216 inches squared, okay? So that's the area of this face. But that's not the volume. To find the volume of this prism, you also have to multiply it by h, okay? So to find the volume, you could times it by 3 inches, and this is going to give us the volume. That represents h, okay? 216 times 3 gives me a volume of 648 inches cubed. Remember, volume is cubed. So there is our solution, okay? So again, for any prism, all you got to do to find the volume, you take the area of the face and multiply it by h. Take the area of the face, multiply it by h to find volume. Take the area of the face, multiply it by h to find the volume.